But in actuality, I would have put Spyro because Spyro was the first. Like that was like the first video game that like T and I ever played. It was by Insomnia, and my wife and I were separated at the time. So when I went home, I would take my son and we'd stay at this Marriott, and they had a PlayStation One that you could pick, $9 an hour, and he and I would play this Spyro game, like all day long, and like we would never leave the room. We'd eat room service and play Spyro for for 2 days. And I'd drop him off at his mom's house or my house.
Listen, if I was a kid, best memory. I don't have to go to Disney.
Oh,
Those are the
no,
best.
no,
Those are the best times. The simple
and
shit.
then we were separated when I moved back to Atlanta, and I had a loft downtown that overlooked the Lenox skyline, and we had. Do you remember like when the 60-inch TVs first came out? They were rear projection.
Yeah, there was like the red, green, and blue light that.
But this was the one that was like Panasonic made like the first one that had probably 720 resolution. I mean, it was like, and T and I had these matching stressless chairs that were these Scandinavian like $4,000 chairs with footstools. And his was black and mine was like dark green, and the TV sat against the back wall. So and the whole TV would roll, and then we had a king size bed against at the other end of this room because it was an actual loft. It's a 1,378 square foot just room, and we had the chairs off to the side, so we would turn the TV this way where the chairs were. Then at nighttime we would push the TV up closer to the bed, and then we would sit and watch cartoons, or get up in the morning and watch cartoons, And I had blackouts over these like 18-foot, and these two gay guys like came in, and they built me this amazing wine rack that they welded themselves with, and they put like a beautiful piece of marble on top of it. Like they kind of came in and just decked my place out. I don't know. I don't remember how I met them, but they were more than just associates. I considered them friends. I can't remember their names because I just lost touch with them. But they put these blackouts, and I rented that place for years. I only lived there for maybe a year, and then I ended up having a 15-year lease on it. And I remember Tamara said to me, like, because we were only split for a little while, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But I was, I was always within 15 minutes of T, because every day when T got home, I would always go hang out with him at wherever he was living. But it gave my wife, because I was on the road so much, it gave my wife, when we were split, gave her like a chance to hang out with her girlfriends and be somewhat human on the weekends that I was off. But like I would take T to go see The Matrix at like 12:45 at night. He was like 4 years old. Like we're in this 24-hour sushi place eating sushi with Usher. Like, and I remember we're leaving the sushi place, and these guys are hammered. And they get like a brand new BMW, and they back up out of the place, like 25 miles an hour, and so here's the pole. It's that yellow pole, and then there's another one that matches it that's like maybe 20 feet apart, and it has a chain. Well, that chain goes into a hook. And that guy backed up, and that hook caught the back of that car and basically to the door.
Scratch.
Peeled it.
Peeled it back.
Peeled it back like a can
Wow.
opener, to the point where he gunned it because he couldn't figure out what he was stuck on. He gunned it, and it spun the back tires around. And I remember like watching it, and then I just looked down at T, and T looked at me, and he goes like this, he just looked at me with this look like, what a fucking stupid ass.
He's like 5.
Like, yeah, like, right? Like, right, Dad? I was just like, yeah. Like, yeah, bad. But,
Great memories.
absolutely.
It's the
man.
simple stuff.
It's all you got.
No one took me for sushi at 2 a.m.
No.
But if they did, I'd fucking remember it. Listen, the Sheik is always good for a video, right?